In recent years, China has been making loud claims about breakthroughs in military technology, especially in the field of stealth drones. However, China's actual achievements lag far behind the propaganda claims. A comical scene is playing out on Changsing Island. Two plastic mock-ups of the allegedly stealth drone GJ-11 are being tested on landing ships. Why not test the real GJ-11 in an aircraft carrier environment? The answer is obvious. China is lagging behind in deck stealth drone technology. Meanwhile, the US Navy successfully landed an unmanned X-47B on an aircraft carrier as recently as 11 years ago. The GJ-11 is positioned as a stealth strike drone with a flying wing. However, there is no official data on its effective dispersion area, EDA. Chinese media claims without any basis that the GJ-11's EPR is 0.01 to 0.1 square meters. Even if this is true, it is nothing to brag about. These figures are much worse than those of the F-35, F-22 and B-2. Some Chinese sources claim that the flying wing layout alone is sufficient for stealth. If this were true, China would already have stealth bombers in service. Their absence shows the ineffectiveness of China's stealth coverages. During the border conflict with India, J-20 fighters, supposedly low observable, were easily tracked by Indian Su-30MKIs. The GJ-11 is clearly trying to copy the US B-21, but is significantly inferior in size. China is obviously trying to achieve stealth effect by reducing its size. By comparison, the US X-47B, similar in size to the GJ-11, has better stealth than the B-2. The US has likely classified the linked technologies to prevent China from copying them. China also boasts that the SCA-11 drone can passively detect various low observable targets at long range. However, such claims should be viewed with skepticism. The effectiveness of modern detection systems is highly dependent on the level of electronic components, where China lags far behind. In real-world encounters, Chinese equipment often fails to detect the enemy before it detects itself. Moreover, China's lauded data-sharing system has long been studied by the US military. Last year, a senior US Pacific Command official publicly expressed interest in the system's vulnerabilities and a desire to investigate ways to disrupt data transmission. A system that has been targeted by the US is unlikely to perform well in real combat. It is naive to believe that China can surpass the US in stealth technology. The GJ-11 is probably the limit of their capabilities, with its design clearly borrowed from the US B-21, X-47B and RQ-170. The latter was introduced back in 2007. The PRC is trying to fool US radars with a small drone with a flying wing covered in stealth paint. But they forget that the capabilities of the US military cannot be underestimated. During Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan in 2022, a US Growler REB aircraft easily suppressed a Chinese J-16D despite claims of the latter's superiority. China shamelessly claims that the GJ-11 is the world's first operational stealth strike drone and possibly the first stealth drone. However, the X-47B made its maiden flight in 2011, while the GJ-11 didn't debut until the 2019 parade, a full 8 years later. As for the title of first stealth wingman, the GJ-11 is even less deserving of the title. The US Loyal Wingman project was a true pioneer in the field, proposed in 2015, and Boeing's prototype for the Australian Air Force successfully flew on February 27, 2020. The main reason why the PRC is betting on deploying GJ-11 drones on aircraft carriers is due to the poor performance of the existing UAVs. They hope that the GJ-11's anticipated stealth and stealthy range will compensate for the shortcomings in the detection range and stealthiness of their DRDO aircraft. Ideally, an aircraft carrier group equipped with GJ-11s would have a missile targeting range of at least 400 kilometers, with the drones detecting targets on the leading edge and relaying information back to the carrier ship. In practice, however, this plan faces many difficulties. Recently, China Central Television showed a 3D animation of a GJ-11 drone taking off and landing on a Type 075 landing ship, prompting widespread speculation. Observers wonder, if the GJ-11 has indeed been in service for some time and China has its own aircraft carriers, why not film the actual takeoff and landing instead of creating a virtual animation? This raises doubts about the PI's ability to meet the challenges of off-harness drone landings in rough seas and a rocking aircraft carrier deck. In fact, this animation may emphasize the PRC's struggle to achieve real takeoff and landing of the GJ-11 at sea. Despite actively promoting it, they have not provided a real demonstration video, instead using animation to hide the truth.